Hi, my name's Keith Cooper, Northlight Images, and I've just got a new lens to test. So this is an update about the lens and a request. I've got it here for a few weeks. It's Fuji 110mm tilt shift, and I've got it here to test and do a review of. So if you've got any specific questions relating to this lens or tilt shift lenses in general, please feel free to ask, because I can answer the questions if I've got it, but it's only a loan. Unfortunately, Fuji have not given me this £3,500 lens. It has to go back, but I've got it here for a little while. So it's a tilt shift 110mm on a medium format camera. This is GFX 100S. Here's the lens. As you can see, and I'll show you on this one in a moment, it tilts, and tilt is much more useful on this, probably for many people, than it is on the 30mm tilt shift that I reviewed a while ago. That's a lens which is much more suited to, say, most of my architectural work and landscape work, where you're more likely to be using shift. Now, I'll be testing this with all sorts of things, but one of the areas this is actually described as a macro lens. Now, I'm going to say that with most tilt shift lenses that describe themselves as macro lenses, they're a little optimistic in that this does half magnification closest. Now, I can get closer still if I can get some extension tubes on it, but as it's set up here, I've got this focused at the nearest setting, and I've also added full tilt. Now, tilt on this goes to 10 degrees. I did a short video recently looking at the problems of using tilt when focusing close, and I was using this TT Artisan 100mm tilt shift lens. Now, this is f2.8, this is f5.6. This one you're much more likely to be able to get creative effects off. This one is designed for quality. This and the 30mm are definitely not designed for the miniature world look and things like that. Yes, you can probably do it, but you get far more effective results for that sort of stuff off a cheaper lens. Now, you could use an adapted lens. The Canon TSE 135-90, both versions of the 90, and all the TSE lenses work well adapted with this, particularly the newer ones. The 24 and the 17 are a little weaker, but this 110mm, this is, in just a few quick shots testing it this morning, it is an incredibly sharp lens, very high quality. Now, I show an example here of tilt. Now, the tilt axis on this is an interesting design in that it actually tilts the lens properly. Now, by the way, I should mention, I refer to tilt and a direction of tilt in all the stuff I do on tilt shift lenses, and also I've written a book about using tilt shift lenses. Now, technically, you might call this movement swing if you're from a large format camera, such as this one at the back here. But for simplicity, and because I'm aiming this at people who come from a small camera background, I call any movement like this, where the lens effectively bends like this on the mount, I'm calling anything like that, I'm calling it tilt and the direction of tilt. That's because it can be up, can be sideways, it can be at a diagonal. And that's being able to rotate the lens mount is quite important with lenses like this. Now, this example I've just set up here, I'm just focusing on this battery pack. This is the same setup I used when testing this lens here, the TT Artisan one, the other day. And I've focused it at the closest setting here, so it's half magnification or thereabouts. GFX 100S, so it's 100 megapixel image. Now, with full tilt on the lens, and I said the lens itself tilts on the optical axis of the lens. That is a good sign. Normal lenses like this don't do this so well. So I'll have to do some tests and see actually what difference it makes in reality. But with the tilted plane, I've got, and it's 25-30 degrees tilt of the plane of focus here relative to straight on. Now, you think, well, that's not a lot. You're right, it isn't a lot. The key thing is, the closer you focus, the less tilt of the image focal plane you have with respect to the normal untilted focal plane. So yes, that's a usable amount. At slightly longer distances, you'll be able to tilt the plane of focus all over the place. Certainly with the design of this and 10 degrees of tilt on it, it should be eminently capable, but I'll have to have a look. So one of the reasons I'm saying, if you've got any questions about using stuff like this, please do let me know. As you can see here, the lens itself, it's very solid. It's even more solid than the 30mm I looked at. That is a hefty chunk of lens. It is designed, I'm going to say, for studio use. It doesn't have an attachment collar the same way that the 30mm does. So I'm going to have a look at that, whether there is anything supported for this, so that you're actually attaching the lens rather than the camera, but we'll see what it does. But anyway, there you have it, a very, very nice tilt shift lens. I would reasonably expect this, given the cost, the performance of the other one, to be the best ever lens I've ever tested, tilt shift lens, in terms of image quality, sharpness, detail, everything. But as the phrase goes, it really ought to be at that price. So there you have it. Great lens. Just pop this back here, switch this one off, and just show, as I say, very heavy. Just a nice solid clunk, and it does shift as well. We've got 15mm of shift, so an impressive bit of glass. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye.